Say that you're an independent artist.
Ah, yeah, 100%.
So if you were, say, getting into music and everything that comes with it for the first time and you're independent, could you kind of tell us a little bit about what it actually means to be independent in such a bizarre music world where independent music isn't wanted?
Oh yeah, well I mean, you know, to kind of go back a bit but still keep it in line with the point. You know, you say take being an independent in the music industry, but then you say, I look at it like take being independent in life, period. Like being an independent being, you know, self-aware, self-conscious, being able to be strong within who you are yourself in this big world of you know, so many different other people who are trying to, you know, manipulate you, bend you, and shape you into different forms of existence. So, you know, I think it's hard enough just being that kind of a being or a person, period. So then you take that and you say, you look at the music industry, which is a humongous machine, and you know, a machine that isn't something that's operated or used for the benefit of the people, realistically. It's for the benefits of, you know, huge corporate interests and, you know, a lot of other different organizations and so on and so forth. There's so many different levels to it. So, you know, realistically, they want and they utilize people who are going to work for them, depend on them, you know, sort of like a child depends on a parent or a slave depends on a master and so forth. So they're always going to be reaching up and looking for somebody to kind of hand something to them, do something for them, make something happen for them, as opposed to taking that assertiveness and just, you know, self-ownership and really just forging their own path or their own destiny, which I think is something that every man, you know, should do.
Would you say that if you were, say, a signed major artist,
yeah,
that you are a slave to the system?
I'd say in some ways, yeah. I mean, you know, there's two ways you could look at it. I've heard debates and all sorts of different arguments where some people say, oh, well, you know, I'm not going to go out and get a job because I'm going to be a slave to the system. And then you may say, okay, well, what do you do? Oh, well, I do X, Y, Z. Well, that system actually does, you know, come into the system at some point too. So in the wider outlook of things, you can say for the most part, most things that people do when you're working for, especially a huge machine like corporation or organization, that you are realistically a slave in some form or fashion, whether it's just economically, whether it's spiritually, you know, there's different ways that you can become a slave to that. So I wouldn't necessarily say that every artist is, because you know, who am I to make that generalization? I haven't walked their path or know what deals they've signed, but the common denominator is that the artists that are signed to these big machine-like labels are slaves to them.
Do you think musically then, by not being controlled by a lot of people that decide what the big artists have to do, their publishers, the agents, all the record company executives, do you think that your music, say artists like yourself as well, you're allowed to have a lot more freedom, and because of that, what you're saying is more truthful?
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, if we were to look at music and we look at just expression, period. Like if I'm sitting there like this and I feel I want to, you know, do that, or I want to express myself in this way, however which way it would be, you know, musically, that's going to be coming through my vocals. But it's what's coming internally from me. It's what I decide to do. It's how I would like to express myself. It's my thoughts, it's my feelings, it's my emotions. It's all of that encapsulated and projecting that in a different form. So if I haven't got the ownership to do that myself, and somebody else is saying, oh, well, maybe you should sit like this, or maybe you should stand like this, or maybe you should say this like that, or do that like this, or record this to sound like that, or do this at this point and this and that. And it's like, well, wait a minute. Now you're imposing that to me. You're telling me what to do, which then negates it coming from me. Music is something that I hold it in high regard. It just being the sound of the universe, and some people may not understand the universe. I get that, but there's other people out there who do. So they will manipulate you to do certain things that are then still going to have an adverse impact on the universe, on the world, on the planet, how things are. So, yeah.
Okay, cool with me.
This one's so groovy, baby.